Hi, little bug. I heard you were ready for chapter 2. And just a reminder, Zoe and Sassafras, mare horses and bubbles. Chapter 2, Stream Bugs. Sassafras ran by my heels and meowed up at me. I could tell that he was especially excited to head to the stream today after all my talk of bug hunting. If you promise not to eat them, I'll show you some of my favorite stream bugs, I told him. Sassafras tilted his head to the side like he was considering my offer. I really hoped he could resist gobbling up the poor stream bugs. Whenever he spies a bug, his tail gets all twitzy. He's always trying to eat them, and I'm always trying to save them. You'll be able to see their neat little gills flutter like hummingbird wings. It's pretty cool, Sassafras. The mayfly babies have 7 rows of gills down the sides of their bodies. They beat up and down to move the water around and grab teeny tiny bubbles of air out of the water. I took a deep breath. I do like having lungs, but sometimes I wish I had gills so I could live underwater, don't you? Sassafras's eyes got big. He was probably thinking of all the bugs he could eat if he could breathe underwater. When we got to the stream, I set all of my supplies on the sandy shore. Today was nice and warm, a perfect day to hunt for stream bugs. The water sparkled as the sun reflected off the ripples in the stream. Wait a minute. Was part of the stream sparkling in rainbow colors? I took a few steps closer and squinted in the sunlight, but I couldn't see the rainbow anymore. Huh? I'm so desperate to find magic today, I guess I'm seeing things, I said to Sassafras. He peered up at me and blinked. I looked one more time, but the stream seemed normal again. I shrugged and took off my shoes and rolled up my pants and grabbed my underwater viewer. It's bug time, I exclaimed as I marched into the stream. Sassafras must have been distracted by the thought of bugs because he followed me. But when the tip of his front paw touched the stream water, he jumped sideways and shook his paw like crazy. He squeezed his eyes closed tight and jumped around a bunch more with his ears flat against his head. I couldn't help but laugh as he flipped and flopped about. Sassafras seriously hates getting wet. Apparently even more than he loves eating bugs. Sassafras climbed a nearby tree and scowled down at me. I grabbed the little tub I brought and filled it with some stream water. I'll put the mayfly babies in here, Sassafras. That way I can bring them to shore to show you. But remember, no eating. I pressed the plastic wrap side of my underwater viewer into the water and peered through the tube. I could see the bottom of the stream really clearly. Oh, a rock as big as Sassafras's head. There ought to be at least 5 or 6 stream bugs clinging to the bottom of that one. I flipped it over and saw nothing. Huh? That was weird. The rock was perfect for the stream bugs. I shrugged and used my underwater viewer to find another big rock. No bugs? What's going on? I muttered. I investigated rock after rock after rock, but I couldn't find a single mayfly baby. I did, however, find a lot of algae. It was cold and slimy, and I had to keep flicking it off of my hands to get it off. I also found some worm-like things oozing along the bottoms of the rocks. I poked at them, but they weren't as interesting as to watch as my fluttering gilled mayfly babies. Sassafras, do you think the mayfly babies somehow turned into adult mayflies all at once? I called up to him. Mayflies start out as eggs, and then the eggs hatch underwater and the little mayfly babies crawl around. They live in the stream for a long time until they get bigger and shed their skin. I shivered. The shedding skin thing always kind of freaked me out. When they get rid of their skin at the top of the water, they crawl out and boom, they have wings. Maybe they did that all at once or something. I looked around and didn't see any flying bugs. But then again, mayfly adults only live for a day or so, which is so unfair. If I lived all my life underwater and woke up with wings one day, I'd want more than one day to fly around. Okay, fine. Maybe all the mayfly babies have flown away. I'll just have to find you a caddisfish baby sassafras. They are also super cool. You can't really see their gills, but they build homes on their backs out of mud and rocks, leaves or twigs, and then they can hide inside like a hermit crab hides inside its shell. I must have made Sassafras curious. He hopped down from the tree and came to the edge of the stream to watch me. I used my underwater viewer to focus on the top of the rocks and gravelly bottom of the stream this time. But no matter which way I looked, I couldn't find any caddisfly babies crawling around. Was this a really unlucky day? I flicked more algae off my hand. Ugh, I give up. I humphed as I flopped down next to Sassafras on the shore. He nuzzled my arm. We were both pretty bummed. No fun stream bugs today, I guess. Sassafras's ears pricked toward home. He meowed once and trotted back down the trail. I strained my ears and could barely make out my mom's voice. Oh, it's time for lunch. As I put my socks and shoes on, I thought I saw the shimmer of rainbow light on the other side of the stream. I took a step closer, but then it disappeared. Mom kept calling in the distance. I took one last minute to look for rainbow light, but all I saw was the normal sparkling stream. I shrugged. I must have imagined it. Ugh, there really wasn't anything exciting to see at the stream today. I trudged home with slumped shoulders. So much for a fun afternoon. Okay, little bug, so that's chapter 2. Remember to like the video so I know to give you chapter 3. I love you. Until next time.